After leaving the Grand Canyon, my next stop would be Twin Hollows Camp. This was another dispersed camp that I absolutely loved. It was right on the Virgin River. This was the first river in ages that I saw that actually had any water in it. This campsite would be my jumping off point for both Bryce and Zion National Parks. And it also had some local hikes. The local hike here was called the Belly of the Dragon, which was this tunnel underneath the road and then into a kind of a semi-slot canyon. But man, inside this tunnel, the acoustics were great, and I really tried to get a good take of a song inside here. But the trail was pretty popular and always interrupted by hikers.
The desert hugged me warm and right, space to breathe and reconsider. Dust stirring kindly in the air, coating my boots a deep dark brown, blowing my hair across my crown. Black on black, denim and dust, a pasture pony looking for a friend. In a lonely place,
About 15 minutes north of this campsite, there was a town called Orderville. And Orderville, a local told me, had a nice little slot canyon hike in there. It's kind of weird. You literally drive through a subdivision, park at a tennis court lot, and next thing you know, you're hiking in this beautiful canyon.
well, at the car wash the other day, I noticed I was a quart low. I also noticed a couple spots underneath the car. Put a quart of oil in it, and I drove up here to, well, I guess I drove to the campground last night, and then I drove up here to Bryce this morning, about an hour and a half. I've lost another quart. I am leaking some type of oil. It looks like maybe oil pan. I'm hoping it's just the oil pan gasket, but and hope I didn't do something stupid. I've been taking this car into places where it shouldn't be, rocky terrain, 4x4 stuff. Hopefully I didn't crack the oil pan, but I'm gonna remove the front tire and take a look, crawl underneath there and give it an inspection. So yeah, I got the tire off. I'm gonna go ahead and change into some work duds and give this a look. All right, let's take a look. So at first glance, it might only, hopefully, might only be the O-ring for the filter canister. I'm gonna have to jack up the other side, but I can see it's coming from the left-hand side. Take a look at that side, give a full report. So first thing to do, clean off all the old oil so we can see where the oil is coming from, because obviously the wind and road pressure has got it all over the place down here. Alright, start her up and see what we got. So I crawled onto the Chevy yesterday, jacked it up on the right side, leaking on the left side, dropped it down, jacked it up on the left side, leaking on the right side. Wiped everything down as best I could to try to tell where this leak is coming from. I was scared to death it might be coming from the main seal, which that means a complete engine pull. I think it's only coming from the oil pressure switch. I'm gonna come in here and let you guys take a peek at that. So that's the coil. There's the distributor. The oil pressure switch is this little guy right there. All that is, it screws into the block and sends a signal and turns on your 10-cent dummy light on these old cars. Not even a pressure gauge. So, but when they go bad, they've got a little O-ring in there, or a suede O-ring on the threaded-in fitting. And when they go bad, they'll blow oil right out the top. And that was the highest point I saw oil. So I think it's really just dripping down there, coming around the bell housing of the transmission, and then just dripping on whatever the high side of the car is. It's dripping on the low side. So ordered a part from Napa at this town called Pasquich or something. It's about 30 minutes down the road here from Bryce Canyon, and it's supposed to be in tomorrow. Hopefully this is a parking lot swap out with no complications. I think it's just a threaded insert, but it might have one of these specialty GM tools. We're gonna find out tomorrow, but I ain't touching it tonight because I need this thing intact to get down the mountain. So Anyways, that's what's going on. Wish me luck that this is it. If this is it and I could swap it out, it's a $25 fix as in a no time lost. And if I don't, it's a complete engine pull and a main seal.
There really wasn't anything more I could do about the engine issue. So just go on with the program and do some hiking. So yeah, got down to 25 degrees last night. This is not water on the, this is ice. It's ice on the Chevy. But this is my chair this morning. Ice crystals on it.
So I'm up at Bryce Canyon doing the rim loop right now. Unfortunately, the 2 days that I got reserved for my campsite is the 2 days that they got a cold snap in. So it is about 44 degrees right now, and it's going to get down to about 25 tonight. Shit, might even get some snow. Who the hell knows? I'm trying to bust out this trail, stay warm, and about 80, 200 feet. Yeah, cold. Well, I'm on my way to Panguitch, Utah, where I ordered a oil pressure sensor switch, or yeah, I guess oil pressure sensor. I'm hoping that's where my oil leak is coming from, and it's not the main seal. If it's the main seal, we're pulling the engine to fix, where we're just adding oil for the next 3 months. If I can get the sensor replaced and that is it, then I'm a lucky man. So just keeping my fingers crossed, rubbing the Buddha, saying prayers, doing everything I can to hope for the best. So things are good, life is good. Dodged a bullet today. Oil leak turned out looks to be only the sensor. I ordered it from while I was in Bryce, while I was inside the national park. Had it delivered to about 30 miles away at this nearest town at a Napa parts store. Picked up the sensor. It looked to be the same one. Had to buy some kind of strange 1 1/16 deep well socket, but was able to remove the old one, put the new one back in, and I believe my oil leak is fixed. just a couple residual drops, but that's probably just from it spewing a quart every 100 miles for the last 2 or 3 days. What a relief that is. I can't tell you how much of a relief that is, because if it would have been the main seal, we're talking engine removal. I could have been held up for who knows how long, way out here in the middle of nowhere. It could have been a couple weeks or longer, or you just keep pouring oil in it and letting it spew everywhere. But so anyways, I did Bryce, and came right back to the campground I camped at before I took off for Bryce. And I had eyeballed this campsite. A van was parked here before, but I really liked this one, and I got it. So I'm right here, right by this babbling brook. They call this the Virgin River. And god dang, cracked a beer. Life is good today. Life is good today. Cheers, all.
So after replacing this part in the Napa parking lot, I headed for a test drive up to Red Canyon, which was on my list to begin with before this problem arose. This is Red Canyon. I really like this campsite of Twin Hollows. It was absolutely beautiful. Almost didn't want to leave, but my plan was now to go to Zion. I had to make the choice of whether I traveled to Zion before Memorial Day weekend or just stall and hit it after the weekend. With all that was going on, I felt it was best to try to get rolling right away. So that's what I did. Just packed up camp, enjoyed one last hike around the belly of the dragon, and decided to leave and catch Zion, but not before I took a bath in the Virgin River. leave Zion. Ran into these little guys on my way out. Gave the Chevy a little praise.
Damn, she's been a good girl. Chevy should be sponsoring my ass.
And I pointed her west, and it was off to the sunset.